A lot of videos out there will tell you that they're about how to draw more, how to fill your sketchbook, etc., etc. And for the most part, they all have the same, 5 tips. Draw every day, get excited about drawing, don't worry if it looks ugly, and make a routine. If you're neurodivergent, or disabled, or burnt out, or just haven't had success with this advice, then you're probably tired of hearing it. I know I am. Burnout is something I've struggled with for a long time, and I haven't had much time just in general for creative projects until recently, and now I'm starting to learn how to actually draw more. You can think of this as both a list and an anti-list. Hi, I'm Sky, and around here I talk mostly about art, community, and education, media, and pretty much whatever else I feel like. If you're into that kind of thing, consider sticking around. Some of you might notice that things sound a little bit different. I finally got a real microphone. I'm really worried about the fact that I'm pretty sure you can hear my computer fan going in the background, and you're gonna be able to tell every time I take a sip of my tea or water now. So please bear with me as I adjust to recording with a half-decent audio advice finally. I'm also going to include some general updates about my schedule and upcoming video topics at the end of the video. That way we can get right into the art advice today. And as for what I'm drawing today, you are going to watch me work on a speed paint for one of my familiar tier Ko-Fi subscribers, Starlight Supernova, who wanted their OC texting their significant other. So to get right into it, my first tip on how to actually draw more is to stop drawing. No, I'm serious. Put the pencil or the stylus down and stop. Play a video game, read a book, go for walks, watch movies, binge your favorite show, or a couple seasons if it's a long one. Please don't binge all of Supernatural or whatever. This is advice I've given before in other videos on other topics, but I kind of want to go a little bit deeper and explain why it works. See, a lot of the joy of drawing comes from creating things that relate to what you love, whether that's fan art or just your personal passion for, flowers. So when I put my pencil down and I started playing Final Fantasy XIV, I found that before long, when I hadn't wanted to draw anything before, I wanted to doodle little things for the game constantly. And so that's just an example of how this advice is doing two things. It's giving your creativity a probably much needed break, and it's feeding it. It's giving your brain something new to snack on that will eventually trigger your creativity to wake up from the nap it's been taking. So if you're having trouble drawing as often as you want, or filling your sketchbook, maybe try taking a break. It could come back to you naturally once the pressure is off. My second piece of advice is just forget the sketchbook. Pick up a pad of sticky notes instead. Having a disposable surface to just doodle on, and the scale really does force you to doodle rather than trying to compose anything serious, it can help take the pressure off. If you're dead set on keeping all of your doodles and drawings in a sketchbook, you can really easily add the sticky notes to it and fill it that way. A lot of advice that I've seen on how to draw more involves amping up the pressure, but that can be extremely detrimental for people with ADHD or a host of other neurodivergences, or people that are just already burnt out. If anything, setting a rule that you have to draw every day can make you want to do it even less. But if you just keep a ballpoint pen or Sharpie and a pad of sticky notes on hand, there's a decent chance that most artists will find themselves reaching for them and putting some ink to paper. And before you know it, you've filled up pages upon pages in a sketchbook. And this will hopefully help to build the confidence you need and remind you in a more tangible way that drawing is really not that serious all of the time. My third tip is to set a week-long challenge with a specific theme or subject. This might seem a little bit counter to my last 2 points, but it's a good second step after either of them, Or if your problem isn't that you're burnt out, but struggling with finding something to draw and finding the creativity. This one might be a big help in that sort of situation. Longer challenges like Inktober or Swordtember or any of those monthly themed things can be intimidating or make you feel bad for not completing them if you miss a day or two, but a week is a pretty easy habit to build by comparison. And if you do want to draw every day, this is a good way to start so that you can begin building the habit and not throw yourself into the deep end right away. Finding or making a challenge to draw something every day can be as simple as drawing a character from your current favorite game or show every day. So in that sort of situation, it could be anything from a little chibi doodle to a portrait or a full scene, as long as it's a character from that thing. Some other examples are study challenges. Some that I've done in the past have included deer, horses, hands, feet. I tend to find that choosing either a subject I'm not as familiar with or something that feels a little more abstract, like hands and feet being just body parts instead of a full figure, also helps motivate me and build my skills. But your mileage may vary. This might be discouraging for you, so don't be afraid to pick something that's in your comfort zone too. And this one might sound like the most ridiculous piece of advice in history, but get a smaller sketchbook. Or rather, change up the size of the sketchbook you're working with and consider getting one with fewer pages. I'm being completely serious here. So if you're using a larger sketchbook, like an 8x11 or even a bigger one, pick up a smaller one, 5x7 or even a pocket-sized sketchbook that you can carry everywhere. If you're using a smaller sketchbook, especially one of those pretty, aesthetically pleasing hardcovers with the illustration on it that are really big on the market and in social media posts, get a big, cheap one instead. Changing up how much space you have to work in could help either free you up to feel like you have more room to breathe, or restrict things to a smaller scale and make you feel less obligated to fill the entire page and devote time to small details. And then using a sketchbook with less pages will help if your problem is wanting to finish a sketchbook. And I feel like the why of it is pretty self-explanatory. Less pages means you're done sooner. If you're chasing the endorphin high of being able to flip from cover to cover and see no blank pages, then starting with a sketchbook that has fewer pages will get you there faster. And once you're feeling like you're on a roll, you can go back to books with more pages. And finally, a lot of folks I've seen say never to show people what's in your shitbook. A sketchbook that you don't have to care about messing up. But I think it's better to frame it as you don't need to share what's in it. Remember that liking one doodle, page, or spread, and being excited to share it publicly doesn't obligate you to share the rest. Just like keeping most of it private doesn't mean that you're unable to share parts that you want to. A bit simple, I know, but I'm the kind of person who sometimes needs arbitrary permission, and this point is there for anyone else out there like me who needs that. And there you have it. 5 actually helpful tips on how to draw more and fill your sketchbook. Are there any tips that work for you that I missed? Or do some of the more common tips actually suit you? Have you tried anything I suggested here and it worked for you? If you like this video, it would mean a lot if you left a like, comment, or did any of the other stuff that I'm contractually obligated to ask you to do as a YouTuber. And speaking of contractually obligated, as always, my videos are sponsored by my lovely Ko-Fi and Patreon supporters. Without you, I wouldn't be able to do this. I also want to give a special thanks to my $5 and up patrons. Starlight Supernova, Arisark, Spirit of Stars, Miles Mentis, Lane, Jordan Kirian, and Kakrian. A full list of all of my Ko-Fi and Patreon subscribers should be on the screen right now, and if you'd like to join their ranks, there will be links in the description. And now for the sort of rambly part. I didn't script these updates, I just wanted to kind of let people know what's going on. I mentioned in a status post 2 weeks ago when my last upload would have gone up that editing was delayed and whatnot. Recording was also delayed, you might have noticed. I did not end up getting that particular job that I was interviewing for that day, but I did get a different job, and I will be starting it soon. My next 2 weeks are looking extremely chaotic as I finish off one place and move to another. And so there's a fair chance that I will miss my next upload. I'm going to try and at least get just a regular speed paint out. It might not have a voiceover or anything, but I'm going to try and do something at least. After that, though, I have a couple of different scripts that have been sort of a work in progress for a while, and they just kind of got halted in all of this, trying to make ends meet chaos. And so I am really, really looking forward to finally being able to put together something that I've been asked for a couple of times, actually, and that's a follow-up to my discussion video about Hell of a Boss and Has-Been Hotel, where I am designing my Imsona, and actually do like a breakdown sort of tutorial on how to design your own Imsona, and have it like really look like it fits in the world of Hell of a Boss and Has-Been Hotel. And then the other one that I have been working on is sort of a combination Final Fantasy XIV discussion and a retrospective on cringe. That one's a bit bigger, and it's a little bit more, I guess, esoteric. So I'm not sure how long that one's going to take me. The Stranger Things video that I've mentioned a couple of times, that has kind of been put on a temporary hold just because I'm really stuck on the script. I have a couple of other scripts that I'm working on, but I'm really not happy with where any of them are at, so you probably won't see those anytime soon. But, I'm working on things, I'm getting things done. I really appreciate anyone who stuck around to listen to all of this, and I hope you all have a great day and a great rest of your week.